Good day, it is May the 29th. Today we continue in Judges 7, doing verses 23 through 25, and that will finish up chapter 7 and Proverbs 29. Remember, you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. It's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. We begin Judges 7, starting verse 23 and finishing up the chapter. Then Gideon sent for the warriors of Naphtali, Asher, Manasseh, who joined in chasing the army of Midian. 24. Gideon also sent messengers throughout the hill country of Ephraim, saying, "Come down to attack the Midianites. Cut them off the shallow crossings at the Jordan River, at Beth Barah." So all the men of Ephraim did as they were told. 25. They captured Orah and Zeb, the two Midianite commanders, killing at the rock of Oreb, and Zerub at the winepress of Zeb. And as they continued, so they basically got killed where they lived, and they continued to attack the Midianites. Afterward, the Israelites brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon, who was by the Jordan River. So they're gathering, basically they're getting the clans back together. 23. Gideon sent for the warriors of Naphtali, Asher, and Manasseh, who joined in the chasing the army of Midian. That's the bulk of the host. 24. Gideon also sent messengers throughout the hill country of Ephraim, saying, "Come down to attack the Midianites. Cut them off the shallow crossings of the Jordan River at Beth Barah." So the men of Ephraim did as they were told, and everyone's joining the party. And 28. 25. They captured Oreb and Zeb, the two Midianite commanders, killing Oreb at the rock of Oreb, and Zeb at the winepress of Zeb. And they continued to chase the Midianites. Afterwards, the Israelites brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon, who was by the Jordan River. They mean like the two, Oreb and Zeb, meaning the raven and the wolf. They killed them, the two commanders, and I believe the bulk of the Midianite army and their allies. So Israel had a good time after that. 29. Proverbs 29. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck. In other words, the more you correct him, the stubborn he gets. Shall suddenly be broken, and that without remedy. In other words, it's going to come down on him quickly, and oops. Hard-headed. They're hard-headed, stiff-necked like an ox. When the righteous are increased, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people sigh. 3. Whoso loveth wisdom rejoices his father, but he that keepeth company with harlots wasteth his substance. 4. The king by justice establishes the land, but he that exacts gifts overthrows it. That's bribery. In other words, if the king's being just and you're accepting bribes, you're overthrowing the land. 5. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his steps. 6. In the transgression of an evil man, there's a snare, but the righteous do sing and rejoice. 7. The righteous take knowledge of the cause of the poor, the wicked understand not knowledge. This is in court. The righteous acknowledge that the poor need defense too, and the wicked don't even see the need for fair trial. 8. Scornful men set a city ablaze, but wise men turn away wrath. 9. If a wise man contendeth with a foolish man, whether he be angry or laugh, there will be no rest. In other words, no matter what he does, it's not going to help. By threats or persuasion, you can't come to terms with a fool. 10. The men of blood hate them that is sincere, and as for the upright, they seek his life. Because these are murderers, and they don't like people who are honest and just. 11. A fool spendeth all his spirit, but a wise man stilleth it within him. 7. If ruler hearkeneth to falsehood, all his servants are wicked. 13. The poor man and the oppressor meet together. Yahweh gives light to the eyes of them both. God offers grace to both the evil and the good, the poor and the oppressor. He shines the light on them both. 14. The king that faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. 15. The rod and reproof give evident wisdom, but a child left to himself causes shame to his mother because he's not disciplined. 16. When the wicked are increased, transgression increases, but when the righteous shall gaze upon their fall. No matter how evil times get, they shall fall. 17. Correcteth thy son, and he will give thee rest. Yea, he will give delight unto thy soul. 18. Where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint, but he that keepeth the Torah, happy is he. This is, if they're not obeying, if they don't want to obey God, they will, everyone does what they want. But the way to be happy, and this is promised in the Bible, is to obey God. Obey God willingly, I should say. 19. The servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, there will be no response. 20. Seest thou man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than him. 21. He that delicately brings up his servant from a child shall have him become master at the last. 22. An angry man stirs up strife. A wrathful man aboundeth in transgression, because you're acting on the emotions. 23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but he that is of lowly spirit shall obtain honor. 24. Whoso is partnered with a thief hateth his own soul. He hears adjuration and uttereth nothing. 25. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in Yahweh shall be set on high. Trust in God. Do not fear man, he can only kill you. God can do more. 26. Many seeketh the ruler's favor, but a man's judgment cometh from Yahweh. And 27. An unjust man is abomination to the righteous, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. Because they're both coming from opposite ends. One wants to do whatever he wants, and the other one wants to do whatever God wants, and the two do not mix. I hope you've been blessed by this reading. May the Lord richly bless you. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, or if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whatever you like. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.